Hello everyone, watch this review here where they look at Jemm from DC Universe Classics Wave 15. Honestly, a character I'm not at all familiar with, although I read the little bio on the back and stuff, but I will comment that the design is just highly reminiscent of the Martian Manhunters. I mean, I think they kind of have like a standard look for a lot of the aliens or something. I don't know. But, a little bit of a read up here in case you don't know who he is and kind of want to know. But, the big things I do know are that he's a pretty cool looking character and he has a piece of Validus. Although, if he didn't have a piece of Validus, I probably would have been a little hesitant to pick this up. Hold on a second, I'll get him out of the box. Jemm comes with a pin featuring himself, as well as the right arm of Validus. Now, I picked this figure up off Amazon.com, and honestly, this is one of those cases where it's kind of like a horror story. This figure is in terrible, terrible condition. I mean, first off, you'll notice that, this is stuff that would have been visible if you bought him in pack and everything, but his joint here is just incredibly warped on the left arm. It'll probably take quite a while to get that fixed. The fingers are just kind of going all over the place. I'm not sure how I'm even gonna sort of get those right for the right hand here. But more importantly, he's got this weird scuffing on his left boot. I mean, look at that. It's just bizarre. I'm not even sure where that could have come from, where, he would have gotten the paint defect or anything. But I mean, as for the figure itself, again, he's kind of a neat design, and he does look quite a bit like the Martian Manhunter, a character I am sort of fond of, so that might be part of the appeal. I mean, it's just kind of really disappointing that the thing has so many errors. Although when they do really small portions like this, you kind of are sort of prone to like those sorts of things. Jemm is apparently from the planet Saturn, and I guess they're white-skinned and red-skinned Saturnians. Kind of like how on Mars they're white-skinned and green-skinned Martians. And they have a war over the differences. I don't know why this is such a recurring motif with the DC universe, but whatever. The head and stuff has a pretty cool looking sculpt. He's got this really neat gem in the center and everything. And I don't know, in general, I'm just really impressed by the overall sort of look of this figure once you get past the kind of annoying defects. I mean, there's really not a tremendous amount to say about this figure because he doesn't even have a ton of paint detailing. I mean, he has a glossy portion on the belts, but I mean, the design is basically just so kind of standard in many regards, except for the custom like forearm bracelet things here, and then the really, really thin fingers. You'll notice these little creases and stuff for knuckles. It looks like he's got several different, I don't know, I guess it kind of is sort of like human ones. He also has these sort of stripes or whatever that are sculpted on. Kind of interesting is the use of a darker like paint shadowing for the tops of the boots, which is just kind of weird as well, considering we don't have any sort of shading anywhere else on the figure. I don't know. In terms of articulation, we have a point of rotation at the wrist. The arms, have a single joint here at the elbow. Point of rotation at the bicep, ball jointed shoulder. Head rotates in addition to having some up and down. The ab crunch is there. You have rotation at the waist. It does sort of bend out his belt, which is kind of an issue. So you probably don't want to really push it too far. The legs, standard articulation, point here at the thigh, single joint at the knee, and a single joint at the ankle, which doesn't seem to be going on this foot for some reason. I don't know, whatever. Now I paid, I think it was like 12 bucks for them on Amazon, with free shipping and everything. But this is really one of those figures I wish I had been able to just find in TJ Maxx or Marshalls. Ew. I guess even the knee here is kind of deformed a little. Partly because, if you see it in stores, you can kind of spot defects more readily. Also because it would have been cheaper if I had seen it there, but, they haven't had a lot of these in since. There are just so many defects with this. This is, incredible. I mean, I'm half wondering, I don't think it's probably a bootleg or anything, but, it's just nutty how many errors are with this figure. But yeah, this has been a look at Jemm. I'm severely disappointed by all these kind of weird mistakes and stuff. And, if you look at the back here, it looks like the leg portion even extends out further past one of the knees. I don't know. But, if you can get a version of him that, is in reasonable condition, I don't think he's a bad figure. Granted, they could have done something with a paint wash and the cape and stuff, and, the gauntlets especially, but, other than that, it's really kind of cool, simplistic, sort of neat style. But yeah. And unfortunately, mine just happened to be incredibly, incredibly messed up. Which, is one reason why I kind of like picking a lot of these lines up at retail instead of online, because that way you do know what you're getting. The obvious exceptions are when some of these figures aren't really available at retail anymore, or, say if you're getting a huge savings versus buying them in stores. But until next time, folks.